Hello everyone, welcome back to Afri Delights. Today I'm going to be showing you the easiest samosa pastry pocket guide. For this recipe I got about 50 samosas. I used 1 kilogram of flour, 4 tablespoons of rapeseed oil and some seasoning. I'll leave some information in the description box. You will also need 800 ml of lukewarm water. Mix in your flour really well, create a hole and pour in your water slowly, or the 800 ml of water. Stir in the water and the flour until you get a nice dough. Once you have a dough, you need to work on it. Your samosa dough has to be firm but bouncy and not too dry. You need to make sure that it's not sticky. Once you're satisfied with the texture of your dough, you just need to put it away for about 15 minutes. Just place it in a well-greased bowl and just cover it up. After 15 minutes, I take my dough and I divide it into 2 bowls. What I'm doing now is I'm creating a very long stick so that I can get some equal samosa ball pieces. So the thickness of the stick has to be equal across the whole length. Once I'm satisfied with the thickness, I'm just going to cut equal pieces. All I'm doing now, which I've shown you in most of my videos, is just forming a bowl, just a normal dough bowl. You need to put flour on your work surface and start working on your pastry. So your pastry has to be flattened out and you need to pre-shape a circle. I am just using the palm of my hands and my fingers to do this. I'm just flattening it out as much as I can before I get to my rolling pin. So as you can see, I'm already pre-shaping something that looks like a circle, although it's not perfect. I'm just getting my rolling pin, covering it with flour, and I'm starting to roll. So this is my very first piece of pastry that I'm doing. It has to be the biggest piece. With samosas, I do mine in sets of 4. Once I'm satisfied with my circle, I'm just going to place some oil. You need to know the size of your pan before you roll out your shape. So I'm going with about a 20 centimeter guide for my pan. You need to make sure that each and every part of your pastry is covered really well with the oil. This will help when you are creating your samosa pages. I'm going to repeat the process 4 times and please watch and see how I stack up the samosa pastry. I am now on my fourth and final pastry for this set. I'm going to repeat the process. The only difference is with this one, it has to be bigger than the ones in the middle. So the very first one at the bottom has to be more or less the same size as your final pastry sheet, which you're going to place on top. As you can see, it's almost overlapping all the ones in the middle. Once I have all my 4 sheets piled up on top of each other, I am going to roll out a very big pastry sheet. All I'm doing now is getting a salad bowl and cutting out my samosa pastries. Do not throw away any excess sheets. I use them to make spring rolls, and I'll be doing a separate video on spring rolls. Whatever you do, make sure that the template you use to cut out your pastry is not bigger than the pan you are going to toast your samosa sheets in. Be very careful when you're removing the excess dough. You do not want to throw it away. Once I've pre-cut my samosa pastry, I'm now going to a dry pan. My pan is preheated and it's just on the medium to high heat. You have to stay close to the pan, and you have to turn your pastry on a regular basis. You do not want it to burn or overcook. All you're doing is lightly toasting it so that the pastry dries out. I'm using my hands. Be warned, that pan is really hot. Please use any kitchen tools that you have to turn over your pastry. I'm used to this, I've done it several times, but I do not recommend that you use your hands. As you can see, I'm starting to get some white bubbles there. That's a sign that the pastry is done and it's toasted. You do not want to overcook this pastry. It will dry out and your samosa pastry will crumble. So once I've transferred my pastry onto a tea towel, just be very patient with this process. You need to pull apart each pastry sheet one at a time. It's very hot, but you have to do this process whilst the pastry is hot. Otherwise, it will all stick together and you won't have nice flawless sheets. There you go. those are almost transparent. The more you roll down your dough, the thinner your pastry is going to be. You do not want it to be too thin because it will be difficult to handle. All I'm doing now is measuring out my pastry, and I'm going to cut it now. So I've got about 20 centimeters in diameter. I'm just cutting it in half. And my pastry sheets are done. I store my pastry sheets in the fridge. I just wrap them up in a warm towel and just leave them in the fridge overnight before I cook my samosas. I'll be doing a video of how I do my samosa folding techniques and how I fill in my samosas, including how I do my samosa fillings as well. And my pastry sheets are nice and done. Thank you very much for watching Afri Delight. If you are new to this channel, please don't forget to subscribe. If you liked this video, please press the like button. And if you want to be informed when I do post new videos, please press the notification bell. Thank you.